This wasn't art, it was a political weapon. And it was painted in just 35 days. In 1937, Pablo Picasso painted Guernica in response to one of the most shocking civilian bombings in European history. Today, it hangs in Madrid, but it was never meant to be just a painting. It was meant to be a warning. April 26, 1937. A quiet market day in a small Basque town of Guernica in northern Spain. The Spanish Civil War had already torn the country apart. On one side, the democratically elected Republican government; on the other, nationalist forces led by General Francisco Franco. That afternoon, German and Italian warplanes, allied with Franco, flew over the town. For over 3 hours, they bombed civilians, not military bases, not factories, civilians. Women, children, market vendors. Buildings collapsed, fires spread. Survivors ran through smoke and rubble as the sky continued to rain explosives. Historians estimate hundreds died, some claim more. But what made Guernica different was that it wasn't strategic, it was experimental. It was one of the first large-scale bombings targeting civilians from the air, a rehearsal for what would later happen in World War II. And the world was horrified. Newspapers across Europe published the story. One of them reached Picasso. At the time, Picasso was living in Paris. He had already revolutionized art through Cubism, but politically, he had stayed relatively quiet. That changed in 1937. The Spanish Republican government commissioned him to create a mural for the Spanish pavilion at the Paris World's Fair. At first, he didn't know what to paint. Then he read about Guernica, and everything shifted. Within days, he began sketching. Over 45 preliminary studies survive today. We see evolution, figures twisted, rearranged, sharpened. This wasn't random chaos, it was calculated anguish. The bull. On the far left stands a bull, massive, unmoving, watching. Interpretations vary. Some say the bull represents brutality. Others say it represents Spain itself. Picasso once called it darkness. Notice, the bull doesn't scream, it doesn't bleed, it simply witnesses. Is it Franco? Is it Spain? Is it us? 2. The mother and dead child. Under the bull. A woman screams upward, holding her lifeless child. Her mouth is open, shaped like a dagger. This image mirrors classical Pieta sculptures, Mary holding Jesus. But here, there is no salvation, just raw grief. Her eyes? Tears shaped like shards. Picasso fractures faces to fracture emotion. Number 3, the horse. At the center, a wounded horse, its body pierced, its mouth open in agony. The horse represents the people, the victims. Its tongue is sharp, like a blade. Its body filled with newspaper-like texture. Some believe this texture symbolizes media coverage spreading the horror. The horse dominates the center. Pain is central. 4. The light bulb. Above them, a glowing light bulb, shaped almost like an eye. In Spanish, bombilla means light bulb. It also echoes bomba, bomb. Is it technological progress or mechanized destruction? It watches everything. An artificial sun, cold, mechanical. 5. The fallen soldier. At the bottom, a shattered soldier, his sword broken, but from his hand a small flower grows. Hope. Fragile, but present. even in devastation. Why no color? 3 reasons. First, it resembles newspaper print, linking directly to how the world learned about the massacre. Second, color can romanticize. Black and white removes distraction. You feel structure, form, pain. Third, it reflects moral clarity. There is no gray area here, only brutality. Here's where it becomes dangerous. When German officers reportedly visited Picasso in Paris during World War II, one supposedly pointed to a photograph of Guernica and asked, "Did you do this?" Picasso replied, "No, you did." Whether the story is myth or fact, it captures the spirit. Franco hated the painting. Picasso refused to allow it to return to Spain until democracy was restored. For decades, Guernica remained outside Spain. It became a symbol of resistance. Guernica toured internationally. It raised funds for refugees. It influenced protest art. Even in 2003, a tapestry reproduction of Guernica at the United Nations was covered during discussions of the Iraq War. Too powerful, too accusatory. The painting still makes leaders uncomfortable. That's power. Guernica isn't about one town anymore. It's about civilians in war zones everywhere. It predicted aerial bombings, total war, civilian targeting, modern mechanized destruction. It showed that art can document truth when governments try to hide it. This wasn't decoration, it was defiance. Guernica wasn't painted to hang quietly in a museum. It was painted to accuse. If you want the next deep dive into another masterpiece that changed history, subscribe to Canvas Secrets and comment which painting we uncover next, because every canvas has a secret.